Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
We now have exclusive video of the moment a vehicle smashed into another car head-on while going the wrong way down the interstate, sending people to the hospital. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. Now, take a look right here. You'll see that car cruising down the wrong way of the interstate before right then it happens, crashing into another vehicle. This happened along I-29 near Manville around 9:30 last night. Authorities say the other driver tried swerving out of the way, but just couldn't make it. Now, here is damage to one of the vehicles after that crash. Take a look right there. The people involved were taken to the hospital, but luckily none of their injuries are considered critical. The driver, 34-year-old Adam Bergman of Alvarado, Minnesota, that was going the wrong way down the interstate, is now facing DUI charges and is in the Grand Forks County Jail. We have a breaking news alert this afternoon. One man is in custody right now after leading police on a high-speed chase in the metro and crashing into multiple cars earlier this morning. 18-year-old Abdi Fatah Jama of Moorhead is sitting in jail for DUI, reckless endangerment, and fleeing law enforcement. Authorities say it started this morning just after 8 near the tri-level of I-94 and I-29. When police tried to pull Jama over, he took off, going 83 miles an hour. Authorities say Jama then crashed into a vehicle near 25th Street and hit a pickup near 8th Street in Moorhead. That resulted in a chain reaction crash where 3 other vehicles were then hit. No major injuries were reported from the crashes. Employees at a Fargo Hallmark store are assessing the damage right now after a car smashed into the front of the building earlier today. It happened just after 10 o'clock at the Hallmark on 25th Street South. Authorities say the driver got the gears mixed up and then hit the building. The driver is expected to be cited. No serious injuries were reported. Damage estimates are around $2,500. Taking that live look outside right now, it seemed to clear up a little bit from this morning when we had a few flurries flying around out there. For what we can expect for the rest of our Wednesday, let's head right on over to Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green.
That's true. We are quieting things down now that we're seeing that sunshine in Fargo and other places getting to enjoy that. You can see that there are, on this 3-hour loop of our radar, those snow showers and flurries that were showing up in blue have really diminished here. Now, there are still some flurries out there here underneath some of these clouds that are passing by, but overall, that is winding down for us for the rest of the afternoon hours. Our temperatures are ranging from Boston, once again, the cool spot at 9 degrees there, to 21 in Oaks and 20 in Jamestown. Fargo's at 14 and 12 currently in Grand Forks. And checking out your hourly planner for Fargo, you can see there are still some clouds out to the west, but we've got blue skies overhead, and we'll have more of that through the day today. We're looking at conditions that are going to be off and on for cloudiness and temperatures that just stay cool, running a good 10 degrees or so below average for this date. But we've got a nice warm up coming up for us. We'll talk more about that and our next chance for some snow too. All of that in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. New at noon, 2 sex offenders in Bemidji, Minnesota will soon be moving to the same block in that city. Authorities say 43-year-old Gerald Browneagle and 34-year-old Michael Smith will soon be living in the 1300 block of Beltrami Avenue Northwest. Both currently live in Bemidji but are expected to move within the city on Friday. Both are high-risk sex offenders who have been convicted of raping children. Hours after a fire broke out at a Minot apartment building, we're still not sure if everyone living there has been accounted for. The fire broke out early this morning and has destroyed the building. 28 apartment units are affected. The city of Minot says some people were hurt during the fire, but not seriously. We will keep you updated throughout the day on this fire on the VNL News app. And today we are getting a new look at the destruction left behind from the massive fire in downtown Alexandria, Minnesota. Investigators are on scene looking for the cause of the blaze that leveled 4 buildings. About 24 people lost their homes and they're now being helped by the Red Cross. The Centers for Disease Control is warning that the coronavirus could soon become a pandemic. Concerns over a possible outbreak here in the U.S. hitting Wall Street hard, with stocks falling sharply for the second day in a row. Tom Costello has been talking to the experts about it.
The Centers for Disease Control says the coronavirus could soon turn into a pandemic sweeping across the globe, and the U.S. will not be immune.
It's not so much a question of if this will happen anymore, but rather more a question of exactly when this will happen and how many people in this country will become infected.
With just 57 known cases in the U.S., the CDC says the U.S. risk is low for now. But employers and schools should be prepared to limit travel and large meetings, allow workers to telework, be ready to close schools or allow internet school work, and hospitals may need to delay elective surgeries. Meanwhile, the virus continues its global march from China to Japan to South Korea to Singapore to Italy. Deserted streets, empty airports, but long lines for surgical masks that are running low. The spike in cases in Italy leading some American universities to suspend their study abroad programs. In South Korea, the first U.S. service member has now tested positive for the virus. The diagnosis coming just one day after the U.S. and South Korea announced they were considering scaling back joint military exercises over coronavirus concerns. In Iran, the country's health minister, who had said the virus is under control as he showed symptoms himself, later announced he too is sick. With a 2% mortality rate at the epicenter in China, the coronavirus seems to be far deadlier than the seasonal flu. But in India, President Trump downplayed the risk.
You may ask about the coronavirus, which is very well under control in our country.
The White House is asking Congress for $2.5 billion in emergency funding to deal with the crisis. Leading Democrats and some Republicans say that's hardly enough. This morning, the world's eyes on a virus that shows no signs of slowing down.
The CDC says it may expand airport screening to include travelers coming from countries where the infection rate has spiked, like Italy and South Korea. In our consumer alert this afternoon, heads up for people who eat Jimmy John's. The restaurant is getting rid of Sprouts. The move comes after the Food and Drug Administration sent a letter yesterday linking several E. coli outbreaks to the restaurant chain. The FDA said the outbreaks happened in multiple states over the past 7 years. The president of Jimmy John's said in a statement that the removal of Sprouts was, quote, out of an abundance of caution and was not initiated by any known immediate threat.